calculate the rate of change in the function f of x equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 3 from x equals negative 2 to x equals 3. The only part of the process of finding the average rate of change from a function formula that is different from using a graph or table is that we have to calculate the outputs ourselves. With a graph or a table, we could just look for the x value, the input, and see which y value, the output, went with it. Here, we will need to evaluate the function for each input using the formula. This is a great opportunity to review function notation. To calculate the rate of change in f from x equals negative 2 to x equals 3, we need to calculate the change in y over the change in x, which is f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. x1 is negative 2 and x2 is 3. So we get f of 3 minus f of negative 2 over 3 minus negative 2. So we need the values of f of 3 and f of negative 2. The function notation f of 3 means the output we get when x is equal to 3. So we use our formula f of x equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 3 and replace every x with 3. I highly recommend that you use parentheses everywhere that you plug in x to avoid some common sign errors. One strategy I often recommend is to first replace each x with an empty set of parentheses and then plug in the value. Doing so would look like this. First, I replace every x with empty parentheses. Then, I fill each set of empty parentheses with the input 3. So f of 3 is equal to negative 3 squared plus 2 times 3 minus 3. Finally, I carefully evaluate the right side, making sure to follow order of operations to find the value of f of 3. Simplifying inside parentheses would be first, but we don't have anything other than single numbers inside parentheses. Exponents are next. 3 squared is 9, so f of 3 is equal to negative 9 plus 2 times 3 minus 3. Then multiplication and division. 2 times 3 is 6, so f of 3 is negative 9 plus 6 minus 3. Finally, addition and subtraction, always going left to right. Negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3, and negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6, so f of 3 is negative 6. Now we need to repeat the same process to evaluate f of negative 2. We need to be even more careful since we are plugging in a negative number. Going back to our formula with just empty parentheses for each x, this time we put a negative 2 in each blank. So f of negative 2 is equal to negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 minus 3. Remember that a negative number squared is positive, so negative 2 squared is equal to positive 4. But we still have the negative sign out front, so that makes the result negative. So f of negative 2 is negative 4 plus 2 times negative 2 minus 3. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, so f of negative 2 is negative 4 minus 3, which we can simplify to negative 8 minus 3, which is negative 11. So f of negative 2 equals negative 11. Finally, we have the values we need to calculate the average rate of change. F of 3 minus f of negative 2 over 3 minus negative 2 is negative 6 minus negative 11 over 3 minus negative 2. Subtracting a negative becomes addition. So this is negative 6 plus 11 over 3 plus 2, which is 5 over 5, which is 1. So the average rate of change in the function f of x equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 3 from x equals negative 2 to x equals 3 is 1.